Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Steam Prison. And last time we got Adage's good ending. She threw me for a loop because I didn't think it was going so well. The feels that one gave me. Anyway, so we are going to start the other endings. One of them should be still a decent ending because that's, I don't know though. I mean, in El Creed's route, we got his, super good ending, but then we got another one that was good. To me, I'm like, it ended well. I don't remember doing that in Ulrich's. Did we get, I think he just said bad ending. I don't know. I can't remember, but at any rate, we're going through the other endings. So whether they're good or bad, I don't know. We'll find out. Most of them are probably going to be bad. So this one, we loaded our save 1, and we're going to pick all of our negative options. So I'm going to scroll back up to my guide. So, negative options. We're supposed to tell them it's good. The food is good. Liar. This isn't good. I made it myself, and even I think it's bad. I don't need your pity. Don't sugarcoat what you think and tell me the truth. It's bad, right? Yes. It is what? It's what? It's bad. Good. Adage nodded a few times and ate the rest with a serene expression. I feel like I was just scolded by my teacher. Adage clearly disliked flattery. I resolved to remember that, and yet we're going to keep doing it. I sighed a little and began to eat again. Oh, we can't skip yet. Okay, I was glad there was food on the table. I didn't mind the taste that much. But I suppose the food really is rather bad. If you know that what you made is bad, why aren't you trying to improve? I looked at Adage, half expecting him to say that he had already improved by leaps and bounds. Okay, I know we've read that. This one's definitely a bad ending, oh, we're supposed to do the negatives. Okay. I've only known him for a few hours, but he doesn't seem like a criminal to me. I wondered why a doctor like him would have been exiled to the depths. Adage, why were you sent to the depths? Because I committed a crime, of course. Yes, but... You want to know what I did? I won't tell you. Do you like talking about the crime that brought you here? I'm sorry, but also, I'm pretty sure you asked us, and we told you, and then we're like, what about you? And he's like, how dare you ask? Girl, he's right. Talking to almost anybody about a crime gave enough to warrant exile. Talking to almost anybody about a crime grave enough to warrant exile wasn't something most people would like. I shouldn't have asked that. He should also have not asked. I'm just saying. Okay. Gonna be doing a lot of skipping. It's gonna be a lot of skipping because we're gonna skip through the whole entire freaking round. It goes by pretty fast, but also I'm sorry, I'm extremely stuffy because, my allergies are starting to kick my face in. You're like a parent. You act like a parent. I love how it's down. I know, game. I'm doing it on purpose. A parent? Yes, my mother used to speak to me like you do. She used to say the servants worked really hard making my food, so I had to eat it all. This reminds me of her. I see. What kind of child were you, Adage? Not much different from how I am now, I imagine. That's difficult for me to believe. Do you mean that you were a composed, mature child? No, you cried all the time. You know you did, you just don't want to admit it, you poor fucking broken thing. I don't remember very well. I certainly don't have any happy memories of being a child. Adage said nothing else. Adage? He's not Elcreed, but I do love him, I'm not gonna lie. He's very, I can't give this to you. If I do, I won't be able to save people I otherwise could have. Adage pressed the bag against his chest and refused. Oh, because we were asking to take the bag from him. Save? You say Yune or something? An angel? I ain't doing so well. How about you save me with what's in that bag? Oh, okay, never mind. I thought he was talking to us, and I'm like, that's rude. But right, I forgot. This is the point where the guy. I thought we were right before the guy came up, not right as. So this is the guy. Give me that bag. I can't give it to you. Okay. No. Well, I can't back off here either, you know. Think about this in the next life, man. Careful! I pushed Adage away so he wouldn't be shot. What? Oh, I didn't realize our ending came this fast. He fell to the ground, clutching his bag. Silver coins tumbled onto the ground. Ha! Got your ass saved by a girl. Pretty wimpy if you ask me. The robber began to pick up the coins on the ground. Guess this'll be enough. You get to keep the bag today. I really wouldn't have shot if you'd given me the bag. You're a big idiot, man. Bye, sweetie. The robber disappeared into the smoke and darkness. Elcrete didn't come save us. I heard myself panting in the silence. I felt a piercing pain in my stomach. Sharp pain shot through me every time I breathed. I could hardly move. This will definitely be our ending because our ending is good night, assistant. Pick the negative options. We only got like 3 negative options. Like, Jesus. I didn't expect that it would like go that fast, but okay. The bleeding is so bad. Why did you protect me? Why did you try to protect me? I did protect you. I didn't just try. I succeeded. Just like I failed successfully, technically. Well, not really. That would be if you actually got shot. No, that would be just failing. I don't even know what to categorize it. I saved you. I am gonna die. That's some kind of failing, but anyway. Why would you try to protect me? I wanted to say something but couldn't speak. Why? Well, saving others is a police officer's instinct, I wanted to say, but I couldn't get the words out. A police officer? You're not a police officer anymore, dummy. But I guess I'm no different. I act like I'm a doctor even though I'm not anymore. Adage put pressure on my abdomen as he searched through his bag. I'm sorry. I've got nothing to stop the bleeding here. I could treat you at home, but it's too far. I can't do anything for you here. I can't save you and I won't try. Ah, yes. That's how he works, isn't it? Wow. I can't save you, I won't try. That's really fucking harsh. I mean, honestly, if he tried to save us, he wouldn't be Adage. But at the same time, you're like, man, I got shot for you. You could at least pretend to give a fuck. Like, it's not that he doesn't give a fuck. It's just he's like, I can't save you, so I'm just gonna let you die. I mean, you know, I just wrap your scarf around my... I don't know, something. Like, come on, dude. Like, here's a tissue. It's all I have to stop the bleed. I mean, something. You could just fake it. Just to ease my suffering a little bit. Jesus. God, Adage. Anyway. My mind was beginning to slow down. I wasn't able to feel angry or sad. All I can do is ease the pain. Adage retrieved a syringe and a small bottle from his bag. Okay, well, this is what I was expecting. Thank you. Just something. Just fake it. He filled the syringe from a bottle and began to inject the contents. I couldn't feel the needle breaking my skin. Slowly, my consciousness faded away. You'll sleep now and die in peace. I don't know why they sent you to the depths. I wish I did. Oh, we didn't tell him yet. Oh, okay. I hope you and I can live a good life in the next world. Aw, Adage. His large hands closed my eyes. Goodbye, Spacey. The next world. I wondered if it would be a nice world. A world without pain. Will my parents be there? I wanted to see them. I wanted to see the people I love. Damn. Alright, well, there you go. That's that. We did. It's taking a while for this to come back. Alright, give me just 2 seconds. It was longer than 2 seconds, but I had to blow my nose. I'm sorry. Okay, so we go back. Let's see. We picked all... That was our goodnight assistant ending. Oh, now we go to save 2. Oh, okay. This is save 2. And we start the negative endings from... Oh, whoops. The negative endings from here. So let's go back up. No need. Okay. No need. This will heal in time. No can do. If my patients see you with untreated injuries, they'll lose confidence in me. Besides, you're my wife. I don't want people thinking that I'm hitting you. Oh. Adage scooped up a salve with his finger and rubbed it onto my cheek. Alright, that's it. It should be healed up by tomorrow. Thank you very much. I knew full well that our relationship was just for show, but I still felt sensitive about him calling me his wife. Wow. Alright, there we go. And I'm assuming we obviously do the talk about meeting Finn because, you know. This one's going to be bad too because it's just titled Recessive. Oh, poor fucking Adage. Oh, that's so bad. That's almost worse than being like, I don't love you or you're unwanted. You're recessive. It sounds like there's something like actually wrong with you aside from the fact that your father's just a douchebag who didn't love you. Like, I just had you because I had to marry your mother and I had to procreate and I didn't want to do it. I mean, let's be real though. We're angry at Glissade for being a dick like that. Be like, what an asshole. But, like, the thing is, if you take a step back, that's probably a lot of people in the Heights feel that way. Husbands, wives, like, both of them feel that way. Like, we felt that way, you know? I don't want to marry him. I'm just doing this because I have to. Maybe we wouldn't have been as cold and douchey as Glissade was, but there's gonna be that underlying, like, well, I'm forced to marry this guy and I'm forced to have these kids, and like, this isn't the life that I wanted, especially because she didn't want to have babies. Oh, that's another thing. So thank God for people on Reddit who can read Japanese and did Finn's route. Here's what I don't understand. Maybe, I just don't get it because I think it was in Finn's route, but it's at some point when she's talking to Finn, right? About being a police officer. So maybe it's actually happens earlier in the very beginning of the game and I don't remember it. And maybe somebody's pointed it out, but obviously you haven't seen. We're still in El Kharid's route as I'm recording this, okay? Like, let's just put it that way, all right? She has a conversation with Finn, and I don't remember this happening, but then again, it's been a while since I played the very beginning of the game, where she says something about marriage, like pregnancy and birth and everything's going to fuck up her being, like, it would just be a problem with her being a police officer, like, it's going to interrupt her job, right? So it's like, you have to know where babies come from and how that happens. Like, you have to know that people are pregnant. And that would fit more in line with, like, even, like, what Adage said in his route, like, oh, well, they kind of stuff away pregnant ladies the last month of their pregnancy, so you probably wouldn't have seen a lot around. Well, yeah, but the 8 months leading up to that, you would have seen pregnant ladies. They don't just pop in the last month. You know what I mean? So, like, that was, like, that seems weird. But she says to Finn at one point, because the person translated it in the Japanese version at least, like, oh, yeah, pregnancy and giving birth would just totally impede my being able to do my job. So she obviously knows where babies come from. Because if she thought they just put them on your doorstep, she'd be like, well, yeah, when the temple delivers a baby to me, it's going to fucking, like, put a kink in the works. But I guess, you know, whatever. I have servants to take care of my kid. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so she obviously knows. So why in Adage's route is she like, oh my god, I did not know. Like, why'd they make her that stupid? Because it sounds like in the original Japanese, she's not that dumb. But they just dumbed her down when they translated it for some reason. Like, and the only thing I can think is, like, I mean, I don't even want to say, oh, well, in different routes, she's slightly different. Because her personality is basically the same. She might react to her love interest a little bit differently and, like, whatever. Like, she's not snarky with Elcreed because he doesn't give that to her. So, like, the way she works with Ulrich, he's a little snarky to her, she's a little snarky back. You know what I mean? Because that's the banter they have. Elcreed is a little, like, fucking hoary, and she's like, I'm gonna need you to simmer the fuck down. Like, but she doesn't need to be like, woo, back up, buddy, to Ulrich, because he doesn't try those things with her. You know what I mean? So, slightly different, but it's not like she has a totally different personality. She still has the personality and, like, the, like, not quite knowing things. So I'm just really confused why they put in Adage's route, either they translated it like, well, let's just translate it like she doesn't know what sex and babies are. Oh, okay. Or, but it's like, it's not a bad translation because everything's written really well. Like, I could see if the translation was, like, machine translated and everything was awkward and this was one of those games. like Ayakashi that we're playing, that's just like a slog to get through sometimes, and you're like, what the fuck? I can understand that, but like, this was obviously done professionally. So, did they just not comprehend what was being said? And like, the only thing I can think is maybe she was actually like, knows nothing about the delivery process, because like, okay, you learn like as a kid what babies come from, like whatever, but you don't understand really the things that come with being pregnant and birth. Like, I'm fucking old, okay? I've never had kids, but I still read things about people. People are talking about their pregnancies, and like every single time any person opens their fucking mouth about being pregnant, it's one more nightmare that gets added to the nightmare fuel that I have. I will never have kids and never get pregnant, thank fucking God. But like, holy shit! Like, you learn something new about this all the time, because everybody's symptoms and things are different, but you learn these things. You don't know everything there is to know. Even if you've probably had a kid, because you haven't experienced every possible thing that could happen when you're pregnant. And if you did, holy fuck, why would you ever do it again? Because, like, there's, like, the people, I had this and this and this, and this person's like, well, this happened to me. And then you're like, oh my God, why? Why would anyone do this willingly? No, I want to lock myself in a closet. So I understand her, like, not knowing all that shit, or like, oh yeah, no, you get pregnant, then you have a baby, and then she's not realizing there's a lot of pain. What do you mean it? Wait, what? Like, maybe not understanding the logistics, like completely being naive, like, oh yeah, eventually you'll get pregnant, like blah blah blah. But she obviously knows that the temple doesn't just show up and drop a baby on your doorstep. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't. Unless when she was saying that to Finn, it was like, but she knows what pregnancy is. So she knows that a woman carries the baby. So it's not like she's thinking like, oh, the delivery, like when the temple delivers the baby to my doorstep, it's going to like fucking put a kink in the works. So I don't understand. Like, that almost makes me like angrier that you translated it in a way, or for some reason in Adage's route, she's playing this complete idiot. Like, she doesn't fucking know the shit. Like, I get her being like, well, I don't know all the details, but like, I get it. I'm going to get married. I'm going to have kids, but it would suck being pregnant and then having a baby. And I don't know how that works really. Like, I know, like, your mom should have taught you that, but it's like, holy fucking shit, but you just... Like, don't dumb her down like that, because that made me angry. So when I read that, I was like, well, now even more angry that it's possible that she's not this stupid, and then the people who translated this into English decided to make her that stupid. Why? Anyway, that was just a waste of time, but I just felt like throwing that in there because I found that out, and it's like, holy Christ. Like, so I don't really know... But, anyway, there you go. Where are we? Right, we're doing all the negative. Please tell me. Why? You couldn't just tell me about it? No way. Besides, I hardly remember my childhood. The days all seem gray and unchanging. I have a hard time recalling the sequence in which things happened. Adage, you should probably get some fucking help with that. I don't want your pity. You're not even 20. You're definitely fixated on my age, Adage. That's because he's like, I don't want to be attracted to someone this much younger than me. Yes, the facility I worked at had a strict seniority system. I have to assert myself to you. Adage, Jesus. That's a kink. Anyway, you'll never get stories of my childhood enemy, so don't bother asking about it. With a little bit of Ulrich coming out of him, Jesus. Adage, our exchange aside, I was happy that he was accompanying me. It reassured me and allowed me to think about the road ahead. Bird, stop that! Where are you anyway, stupid bird? Sorry, I had to blow my nose again. Ooh, what? What? Ooh. Okay, we should talk about having met Finn, because we want to keep the route going. We're still doing the negative options, right? Let's see. Thank you, but I don't need it. But I can't accept it. I don't know how to use a gun, and I can protect myself. No way that's true. You're an armed idiot. I'm telling you to take it for your own protection. Here. Adage forced the gun into my hand. I explained to you how it works. It's simple. Even someone as stupid as you could use it. Hopefully you won't need it, but use it if you need to, alright? Okay? I put the gun into a pocket and resigned myself to his pushiness. And then Sir Inez comes out. This is going to be bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for asking you along. No, it's all right. It had to end this way eventually. This was just the day. Either way, I faced reality. Early detection and early treatment is the best way to combat illness. Better this than later. Adage looked grim and unhappy. His expression was as cheerless as the sky above. Seeing my father wasn't a recent event. I found him soon after arriving here. Okay, I have a feeling... Well, obviously, because this last choice coming up... When it came up and we were doing... This is the last choice, at any rate. But when it came up in the thing and I was like, oh, that negative option is so fucking hard. And that's what's really gonna, do it. Like the like father, like son. Oh! Nail! Oh, God, Spacey, you're just like stabbing that knife and twisting it, just shaking it in there. Jiggling it around. That's a repeated stab and twist motion. Jesus. Fucking hard. That is like literally me. Oh, anyway. I refuse. What? I said I refuse. It's true that I came to the sanctuary district in pursuit of you. I became a doctor so it'd be easier to find you. But you can't have my eyes. I still have... Adage! Okay, we don't get to that point. Man, I thought we were going to be like father, like son. Oh my God. There's low-key I wanted to say that to him just to hurt myself a little bit. I don't know. Look, if we're going to have a bad ending and he's going to die, I think we need to hurt ourselves along the way. That's like, could you... Look, if you're going to get to an ending and you're like, no, but I love you, and then he dies, that hurts. But if you say, yeah, like father, like son, twist that fucking knife because I'm mad at you, and then he dies, you're like, I feel so much worse about it. And if I'm going to feel bad because he's dead, I should feel as fucking bad as possible. I don't know, man. Anyway. Too bad, Adage. I wanted to respect your wishes if at all possible. I wouldn't have let you live. I would have let you live if you had given them to me of your own accord. What are you doing? You just shot your son! It's all a question of priorities. I can't do his voice right now. Whatever, anyway. You see, I don't love him. I didn't want him born. Oh, God, Glissant. So rough. Again, it's probably true for most of the people in the Heights. Some people are like, this is my duty and I do it happily, but he probably underneath, even our parents were probably like, this is how we do things, but like, I guess our parents were lucky that they like each other. But there's probably a lot of people in the Heights that are like Glissant, somewhere deep down underneath, like, I didn't want this life. I didn't choose this. And now I have this kid. You know what I mean? You want to say, oh, it's harder because, like, women give birth to their children and they love... There's plenty of women who don't love their fucking kids. Just because you shoved that fucking thing out of you doesn't mean you love it. You know what I mean? Like, sure, maybe you're like, oh, I love my kid, but I also resent my child because I didn't want to be in this situation. Like, I mean, there's a lot of people, I'm sure, that feel this way. Glissant is just bringing all of that negativity and is giving it every bit of it to you at once. Where most people would just go about their lives, treat their family with respect, actually take care of their kids, and, like, try to be happy and paint a happy picture like our family did. You have Glissant on the complete extreme, but there's... So we're supposed to sit here and be like, he's so evil, and oh my God, but it's like, God, there's probably a lot of people that feel like you, though. Like, I almost, like, low-key feel bad for him for having been forced into a situation where he was so unhappy that he made everyone else in his family unhappy. But it's not his fault. Because if he was allowed to love whoever he wanted to, well, we wouldn't have Adage, but Adage would be fucking miserable with a father that didn't love him. His mother wouldn't have died knowing her husband hated her. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you did this, the Heights. You did this. This is your fault for being fucked up and crazy in a weird-ass cult. Anyway. Recessive. Yes. You are recessive. Every day they brought them to us. Those worthless, recessive existences. You're like them. Glissant lifted Adage up and put him on the medical table. Adage was writhing in pain. Glissant restrained him at the arms and legs. I was wondering, like, why the fuck aren't we doing anything? Right, because we've been poisoned, right? So we can't do anything. We can just watch. I was like, why aren't we doing anything? Right, never mind. Like, it's because the last thing that we had was we're going in there for the dinner, and then we skipped through, and my brain is still like, but we're here for the... No, we weren't here. We left and then came back. Right. Like, I don't know. I gave Priscilla her name because it's the name of the woman I loved. Priscilla Garland. She was an up-and-coming stage actor. Priscilla Garland and I met in university and fell in love. But, as I'm sure you know, we're not allowed to choose your partners in the Heights, so nothing ever came of it, and we were given separate families. I never really loved your mother, Adage. She was an obstruction for the most part. My grief was entirely derived from having failed to save a life I could have saved. I had no personal feelings for her. No woman could have competed with Priscilla Garland anyway. Mother, she loved you. She did. You're the same, Adage. The temple decreed that you should be born, and so you were. You're a tool that supports society. That's even worse. This is not like, okay, here's your thing and have a family on your own accord. It's like, so I'm going to need you to go get pregnant and have a baby now. They just decide when you're born. I guess it's part of, like, population control. Like, well, we can't just have everybody popping out, like, 40 kids. But, like, what happens if... So, like, in the Heights, that brings up that question. So, okay, you're married, great. You're not allowed to have sex until the temple's like, it's about time for you to have a baby, so go about it. Oh, now we can... How do you... Are they really such goody two-shoes that you can stop them from, like, just having sex for funsies? Obviously, they don't understand. Okay, look, I'm gonna get that there's probably a lot of women in the Heights who are like, okay, I'm just gonna lay here and you're gonna do your thing and I get pregnant, okay. And it's not enjoyable for you. Like, okay. But, like, I'm gonna think that men, it's probably more enjoyable for them, you know, just the logistics, than it is for the women. How do you stop them from... Do they have birth control? Maybe they have birth control. Maybe they have birth control. I don't know, but I'm just like, how do you stop? Wow, that is... Okay, these are the things that I want. I want, like, a whole backstory. And, like, so this is how they stop people from having sex. Because, like, and, like, unless you have birth control, people are going to be accidental pregnancies. And then those people are going to be like, there's probably some people in the Heights. Why are you here? Well, so my wife and I had sex. And she got pregnant by accident, but the temple decreed it wasn't time, so they took my baby, sent it to the factory to be butchered, like fucking whatever, and then we got sent down here. The fuck? There's probably people down here for that. Man, the Heights get scarier every time we read. Anyway. How can I love a tool? If anything, I despise you as a representation of the laws which ruined everything between me and my Priscilla Garland. You should be happy. As recessive as you might be, you can be useful to me at the very end. Aren't you craving for my love? I will love you. Or those eyes, at least. It's kind of weird that... Well, okay, no, it's because I'm like... He's talking about Priscilla, but he wants Adage's eyes, which are his eyes, but then he's getting... But it's because... It's just weird. Like, the association in my brain was like, that's weird, because Priscilla, before he told his story of the woman he loved, he wanted Adage's eyes to give to his quote-unquote kind of sister that he created. Okay, I kind of get that. But then you're like, oh, because I named her after this woman I loved, and you're like, you'd think you'd be actually creating... But I guess it wouldn't technically... You know what I mean? Like, it's weird. You're like, you're recreating the woman you love, but it's not really recreating the woman you love. You just gave this child you made the name of the woman you love. But I just feel like that's an unhealthy association right there, too. You know what I mean? Like, Glissad's already a little, like, fucked in the head. So, like, I don't know. That's weird. But anyway. Anyway. Stop it! Skin and flesh was being ripped apart. Oh my god, he's, like, alive when you're doing this. Oh god! Stop it! Oh, I'm sorry. This must look quite shocking to you. Glissade opened a drawer and pulled out a syringe. He checked its contents and injected it into my neck. Sleep now. I'll take out the trash in the meantime. Take out... Yes, I only need his eyes after all. I'll take your blood afterward. My mind dulled and my vision blurred. Don't struggle now. Ah! That was a real one, though. I'm hearing that sklurpy noise. Ah! I couldn't move, but I could hear his screams. Stop it. At least put him out of his pain. He didn't. Adage suffered. I could still hear him, but soon that would be gone from me as well. Adage, where had I made my mistake? Perhaps Glissade was right, and I should never have picked a fight with Sasha when I was still a police officer. It was too late to brood, but I could do nothing else. Well, I didn't have a choice in starting that fight, by the way, so I like how she's like, maybe it was when I did this. I didn't choose to do that. You did that on your own, bitch, so don't even try to guilt me about that. When am I going to die? There were so many I wanted to apologize to. Too many. I pray that my end will be swift. Finally, I lost consciousness. Well, actually, I mean, okay, so I know Glissade had her parents killed, right? And my theory was that Finn killed her parents, but that doesn't mean Glissade wasn't like, hey, so you're like in love with her, you should kill her parents, and then she can end up here, and then you guys can be together. I'm like, I'm just saying, we don't know. You know what I mean? Glissade was the mastermind behind it, but it doesn't mean Finn didn't do the execution. I'm just saying. Because he wants to be with us so much that this doesn't seem like a bad idea to him. I don't... Alright. So, we're going to go back to save 2. Alright. That's the recessive ending. So this one, we need to pick 2 neutral options, then -3 times. So wait, what did I just say? 2 neutral options, and then the -3 times. Oh, hell yeah, we actually get to pick. Okay. Do we have to pick the first 2, then 3 negatives? Alright, well, we'll just do that, because then we actually get to pick the, like, father, like, son negative. Fuck yeah. For free? No. I'm kidding. I know you have no money. I haven't paid you yet. You gave me a place to sleep and food. Are you going to pay me as well? And once you become a little more useful, yes, I will. Adage scooped up salve with his fingers and rubbed it on my cheek. Okay, we're still there. It's going to be a while from now, though. My wife can't even cook. I'm supposed to be his assistant at home. It's surprising to hear him call me his wife here. I knew it was a joke, but it still made me uneasy. Okay. And then the next one we'll do the neutral. I just sneeze. Sorry about that. Anyway. 2 neutral, then negative. Okay. All right. We're getting there. Maybe. I don't know. I will. Okay, I'll imagine it. Just don't tell me about it. My memories of my childhood aren't particularly good, and I don't want to talk about it. Adage, our exchange aside, I was happy that he was accompanying me. Okay. Sorry if I keep going silent. It's sneezing and allergies and all that stuff like that. All that fun jazz, so. Talk about having met Finn, because that's our other bad ending and we don't want to get there yet. Wait. Okay, I did the 2 neutral, now we do the negative, so that was the thank you, I don't need it. The, like, Adage's is very nuanced with his, choices. You know what I mean? Because all of the other ones, it's like, okay, choose all the good options, obviously, to get the good ending. Choose all the negative options, go through and choose neutral, or like whatever. Or like, okay, save here, and then choose the negative from here. So like, oh, the first half is good, and then you choose the like this one is like, I need you to load save 2, and then you choose the negative here, and then it goes to bed. And then you do these you do so many of this, so many of that. There's like just so many options from the same save point. You know what I mean? Where the others just had different breaks. Like, here's save 2, where then you do the negative and you get an enter, and then here's save 3, and then you do this, and then there's save 4, and you do that. Like, yep, okay. Like father, like son. Oh. Alright, here we go. This is gonna hurt me. That's so immoral. Killing someone to achieve some personal goal. Like father, like son, huh? Yes, I guess you're right. I always thought we only looked similar, but I guess I'm just as much of a shithead. Thanks for showing me that. Adage, this counts as Inez's ending. I didn't think it would turn into this when I hired you. Sorry. Sorry? You can still correct the situation! Yeah, but I won't. Won't you? No, he's gonna end up dead. Because in all the endings where we end and we switch kind of technically to the other person, we get an ending for them, it's always that person died. Like in Elcreed's, when we got the Ulrich ending, it was because Elcreed went up to the heights and died. And in Ulrich's, when we got the Elcreed ending, it was because like whatever. And this is different, so. I was in the cafeteria of the Hounds building and eating. As Glissad's assistant, I was permitted there. I had washed my hands several times, but I felt as if they still carried the smell of Priscilla. I couldn't get the sensation of touching her body out of my mind. It made me sick. And it's not just about me. Spacey's also just a tool for Glissad. I had been jealous of Spacey and the affection that Glissad had shown her time and time again. But it was just because he needed her. She's fodder for his research. Spacey is partly to blame for talking to him about her blood type, but if he hadn't created Priscilla, then none of this would have happened. He wouldn't have come here, and all these people would still be alive. All those people, wow. How many more will die before that monster moves again? Can I ignore that? Can I really ignore that? Excuse me. Inez. Word had gone out to all the men in the Hounds that I was Glissad's assistant. They treated me like I was one of their own now. Inez especially was being friendly. He always talked to me when he saw me. What's wrong? You need to eat. Their voices sound really similar right now, because like my nose is so stuffed up twice. I feel like even when I'm doing Spacey's voice, I sound a little too similar to them. Wow. Eat. You're too thin. I'm normal. You should be more worried about eating too much. You're huge. Not at all. I'm normal. Inez began to eat. I tried to eat as well, but I couldn't. Is something wrong? Well, I guess that's why you're here. If you want to talk, here I am. I had no idea how much time had passed. I had lost my sense of time. Well, that's really weird, because we went into his perspective, and then usually when we switch to our perspective, we get the little normal, the steam prison, like, background. We didn't get that transition. It just flipped over to us. Weird. Anyway. Just saying. Now I'm gonna have to read this in Adage's point of view, because we're still in his perspective as far as I'm concerned. Kidding. There was no sunlight. It could have been night or day. How long will I be in here? Until I die, no doubt. Glissad was after my blood. He wasn't gonna let me out other than to get it. I wish he had killed me quickly then. Okay. Hold on. Sorry, it's like I was doing good all morning. I was like, okay, I'm a little sniffly, but I'll be fine. The second I put my headphones on, and I start recording, it's like I start sneezing and my nose starts... I don't understand what it is, but the uncertainty was painful. Someone's coming. Maybe it's Adage. You're being released. Sir Inez? Why are you here? Like I said, to release you. But... Sir Inez dropped to one knee and inspected me. He dropped to one knee. Girl, wait for your route to propose. I don't think we're there yet, Edith. He's like, I'm not fucking proposing. You're like, I mean, I'm just saying. You seem weakened, but you can probably walk. Follow me. Follow you? Why? He's like, Jesus fucking Christ, are you deaf? An odd question. Do you like this cell so much you wish to stay? No, I'm leaving. Then follow me. Don't waste our time. Oh. I'm so glad that I got a huge, like I got like a bunch of tissues recently because I got the last box and it's gonna go today. It's gonna be all gone by the end of the day. Oh my god. And it sucks because it's like my day off. And I'm like, seriously? Oh, it's always a day off that I feel like ass, but the light outside was bright and painful. I found it hard to walk. Serena's walked more slowly to accommodate my constitution. I was grateful for that. But why? I hadn't expected to be let out alive. Serena's... What happened? Why am I being released? Did Adage kill Glissade and now he's dead too? It's not something I want to talk about within anyone's earshot, but Adage testified against Glissade, who was then executed. Testified? Yes. He was arrested for killing criminals in pursuit of some personal quest, and Sash executed him this morning. It seems he was experimenting with artificial life, cutting up their corpses and reattaching them. Insane story. Sasha knew nothing about his research? So I hear. Why? I feel like Sasha did and didn't give a fuck. Nothing. Can that really be? That the commander of the Hounds doesn't know it when someone is gathering corpses? Did he execute him anyway? Of course, I was never going to be able to ask him that. I nodded in agreement. All deaths are a tragedy, but, oh my god, or... In all of the other ones when we did the route switch kind of thing, not really route switch, but you get the other person's ending, your love interest died. But I just feel like, is this going to be one where, like, if now that, like, Adage is going to take over being the doctor there and he's just done with us, and, like, we're going to go off and live and know that he's there, still alive somewhere, we just get... Oh, that's going to be worse than if he died. I hate that. Anyway, all deaths are a tragedy, but I thought of the mountain of corpses he had left behind and judged it a fair punishment. What's going to happen to Adage with Glissade gone? He was the only reason for his existence. Oh, right. Adage. Sir Inez, what about Adage? Is Adage alright? He must be depressed. Well, we haven't known each other for long, but I think he must be. Glissade was very important to Adage. This must be very difficult for him. Oh god. What's wrong? Why won't you tell me? He's so dead. I had a bad feeling. My heart told me to stop asking questions. Adage. It's alright. I'm sure he's fine. He will recover from his depression. Spacey. Tomorrow he'll be his old self again. No, today. I mean, he's free now. Adage is dead. That can't be true. Adage was executed as well. But, no, that can't be. I wouldn't lie about it. I wish it wasn't true, but it is. He had no part in the murders, but he begged for this outcome, saying that he had a hand in the research. Glissade Roselight and Adage Roselight were both executed this morning by Sasha Brandenburg's own hand. I couldn't do that in one breath. Holy shit, I'm sorry. I can't do the deep voices with long sentences. It's hard. Anyway, Roselight. So that was Adage's name. We knew Glissade Roselight, right? We couldn't put two and two together. I mean, I guess. Yes, it was. I didn't even know that. We talked so much, but I knew so little about him. That's how it is. We don't allow their criminals their last names. Adage Roselight. Maybe if I had come to know him better, he would have told me his last name. Maybe. He's gone now. We lost a good man. Now we literally have no doctors down here because we lost the only two that we had. Nothing has changed here. Everything was just as it had been when I'd left. I'm back. Adage, I'm back. He didn't answer, of course. He wasn't going to welcome me back. I knew that perfectly well, but I still had to try. Sir Inez watched me in silence. Oh, there was a sheet of paper on the table. All it said was, I want to eat Spacey's horrible cooking. Oh, horrible cooking. You never tried it. You're just saying this because I never made anything. I'll be a great cook one day. I want to show him how well I can learn to cook. But he's gone. So now I'll never be able to, will I? He's not going to eat it. I began to cry. I couldn't stop the tears. This is all because we said, like father, like son. There's all the other choices, but I feel like that was the, See? It's this. Because you know this is the outcome no matter what, like, just the amount of choices. If we had said, you're lying, if we had chosen a neutral one there and a negative someone, this still would have happened. But it's that choice of saying, like father, like son, just stabbing him with that knife and twisting it, and just gonna twist it and shake it around and just repeatedly all of that. Because you were angry and you said that and now he's dead and you're like, it was literally that one thing I said. If I had been like, it's okay, I love you anyway, then everything would have changed. It would have changed, but you still think that in your head. And if you were her in this position, you'd literally be thinking that. It's because I said that. If I had said something different, maybe if I told him I loved him, maybe everything would have been different. We know, and we're still thinking that. Maybe if I just chose a different option. No, we still would have gotten this ending, probably. Or maybe one of the other ones. But you know what I mean? Like, that one choice wasn't going to make a difference. Like, we could have switched it around and been like, well, we're going to do a negative one up there, and then we'll do you're lying in this one, or whatever, and he'd still have gone this way, but it's that last choice that just really drives that dagger in your own heart. You're like, I did this. I mean, I knew it was going to happen anyway, but it still sucks. It hurts. It makes it hurt more. It really does. So, I'm sorry, you're welcome? I don't know. Anyway, I began to cry. I couldn't stop the tears. Spacey. Sir Inez couldn't ignore this. He embraced me. I'm sorry. I don't mind. Adage asked me to look after you now that he's gone. Adage did? Yes, he was a lonely man. He said himself that he had nobody else to ask this from, even though we hardly knew each other. And tell me if there's anything you need in the days to come. Thank you. I wiped my tears away and looked up at Sir Inez. If he was so worried about me, he shouldn't have died. But I love this too because that person that we love is like, I'm going to go sacrifice myself. I need you, other person, to take care of her. And they basically, you're now with them. And they die so that in a way, you know at the end of this that like, maybe nothing ever happens with Sir Inez, maybe things do. But that weighs on your mind too. You're like, well, no, it kind of like with Inez because Adage sacrificed himself. And that's, what? That's a little hurtful too. Like, this game is really good on the hurty routes. You know what I mean? It's also really good at hurting me before I get my good ending in Adage's route, and I'm still not over that, but... He always called me an idiot, but in the end, he was the idiot. Dead. What a fool he was. Yes, he was a fool if there ever was one. We're supposed to get a CG with fucking, Inez in this. I mean, Adage's body had already been disposed of. I couldn't look at him one last time. According to Sir Inez, the sight was rather gruesome. Still, I would have preferred to see his body. I know, because then you would know he's dead, and now you're just like, he's out there somewhere! You could delude yourself. It made me a little sad. But I had to survive. Adage had saved my life, so I had to live. I lived in the house he had left behind. My eyes set on the future. Oh, we didn't? Oh! Here we go. I was like, we don't get it. Like, we always get a CG with our other boy. Like, I've come to see how you're doing. I'm doing well. As a doctor, I ought to know that I'm healthy. Learning to be a doctor. You can't do much, can you? No, you're right. I'm not nearly as good as Adage, but I can treat some simple illnesses and mix simple medicine. It's alright. He went to university just to study this. There are obvious limits to self-study. Yes, but I'll try to do what I can. Adage left a lot of literature behind, and the thing is there are no doctors, and someone who kind of knows versus nobody. I mean, it's amazing when you think of it. Look how many books he managed to find in the Sanctuary District, where simply surviving is hard enough. And that shows you how much being a doctor was part of life for him. I wish he'd taught me more when he was still alive. I don't want to talk about him being dead, girl. Jesus. Well, he's dead now. What can I do? Will you eat with me one of these days? The food was horrible when I ate here last time. Has it gotten better? Yes, it's much better than it used to be. I'm quite sure I'm improving. All right. Looking forward to it. It's actually kind of adorable. Like it's like a happy bad ending. I don't know, it's weird. I was still neither a good cook nor a good doctor, but that also meant I still had a lot of room to grow. One day, I was going to perish and be reunited with those from my past. I wanted to be able to tell them that my skills had improved. I'll work hard and survive. Just you wait, Adage. Like, it's a sad ending, but at the same time we have this moment with, like, Inez, we're like, yeah, do better! Gonna be cooking and learning to be a doctor! And it's like, that's kind of almost a happy, sad ending. I don't know. We have one more ending for him. One more bad ending, I guess, or like maybe, I don't know, we have to pick all the neutral options. And then we still have the Finn ending, which, okay, it counts as a quote-unquote others ending, but you know it's a Finn ending. It would have been a Finn ending if we had his route. But, we'll do those in the next part, just because we're almost at an hour, and I just would, I mean, it's better to kind of stop here, and then instead of starting in the middle of save 2 and ending, you know what I mean? Bird! Rude! Rude. Rude. And it might only be 10 minutes, and we could have fit it, but like, whatever. So I'm going to wrap this part up here, and we will just finish the endings in the next part. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up, and subscribe to see more.